You should be laughing together. You should be playing together. For us, our walks or bike rides or whatnot.
Vacations.
Yeah, vacations. Because I just think there are a lot of obligations and responsibilities of marriage. There are things you have to do that you may not want to do.
Yep.
I had to give my opinion on 10 different white paint colors that looked identical to me. But try to guess which one Lisa really wanted me to pick. But with those responsibilities, you got to have fun and laugh. And that's the thing is I think Lisa and I laugh a lot. She likes my sense of humor, which I'm grateful for.
Hey crew, it is Adam and Emily back at it again. Thanks for being here, listening to the conversation. We are here for episode 312, week 2 of this fun marriage series that we got going on. And again, this is kind of going along with Embrace's marriage conference that they have at the end of October. If you want any more details about that, you can head to iamembrace.com/marriage. It's on Saturday, October 25th. It's going to be awesome. You won't want to miss it.
It's going to be great. Carrie and Tony Newhoff are the speakers. It'll be fantastic.
Yes. Before we go any further today, we have some awesome partners that are partnering with us on this episode. Adam, why don't you tell us who they are today?
Yeah, our partners, I'm so honored. Every single week I say this, but I'm just so honored to have them as partners. Our first partner is Mission Haiti. Mission Haiti is a nonprofit that my wife and I have supported for over the last 10 years. Several months back, I was in Haiti again. I believe it was my 4th or 5th time there, and I never cease to be blown away by the incredible work that Mission Haiti is doing. Mission Haiti's goal is to love Jesus, love others, and make disciples in the country of Haiti. And one of their biggest ministries, they do so much, but one of their biggest ministries is their student education program, where they provide a Christian education, they provide a warm meal, they provide access to healthcare for over 2,800 students. That's incredible. And so I just honestly want to challenge you and borderline beg you to consider sponsoring a child, because I believe in it so much. My wife and I, we are currently sponsoring 2 kids. I was able to meet the little girl and the little boy that we're currently sponsoring, and just to see the impact that a sponsor helps, it's just incredible. So to find out more about sponsoring a child, simply visit mission-haiti.org. Again, mission-haiti.org. Click the sponsor button, look into a child that you can sponsor and literally change their lives for. Our other partner today is Vern Eide Mitsubishi. Vern Eide is a growing employee-owned, faith-based company that strives to deliver dreams and transform lives, and their goal is excellence in everything that they do. Friends, whether you're looking for an Outlander like I drive, whether you're looking for a Honda, a Ford, an Acura, a Chevy, GMC, you name the make of vehicle, you name the kind of vehicle, whether it's a car, whether it's a tractor, whether it's a boat, whether it's an ATV, a snowmobile, you name the type of vehicle, they're going to most likely have it. And no matter where you live, they'll ship it to you. I'm currently looking at a Honda CR-V as we speak. Jared Fields is my guy that I text about vehicles. Super helpful, zero pushiness. If you're looking for a vehicle, visit verneide.com. Verneide.com.
Perfect.
I'm big fans of them.
I know you
like,
are.
They just never, like, there's never the pushy. I don't like to buy furniture because of the pushiness.
The salespeople, yeah.
And I feel that way about vehicles too. But I've never felt an ounce of pushiness. It's literally like, I just want to help.
Yeah.
And if you just want to look, hey, totally cool.
Yeah.
Don't bother. But
Yeah,
if
you don't get 18 more emails.
No, it's like no pushiness.
Love it. So we are back for week 2 of our 4-week marriage series. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Last week we talked with Jody and Jason Van Ruler just about living on mission together. This week we are here with Gary and Lisa Thomas. You want to give us a little snapshot about Gary and Lisa?
Yeah, so amazing couple. They're like one of the most well-known names in Christian marriage. Years back, Gary wrote a book called Sacred Marriage. If you haven't read that, you should read it. It's really, really good.
Okay.
Like, it's super challenging and just like a really beautiful portrayal of what marriage is. But Gary and Lisa just have an awesome marriage, and I've seen that firsthand. They're speakers, they're authors, pastors, all the titles, but they just love each other. And we talk about rhythms that you can like have to last for a lifetime in your marriage. And one of the things they talked about is even health, like the importance of your physical health.
Yeah.
Lisa brought that up. I thought that was really, really powerful. But one of the things I love about this is they share some kind of different things than Jody and Jason.
Yeah.
So some of their advice actually kind of contradicted.
Oh, really?
Not even contradicted, but like it was a different take.
Yeah.
And what I loved about it, and I said this, I love that every marriage is different.
Right.
And so what works for Van Rulers
Totally.
is different for Thomas's. And
Yeah.
so it's not like one is right, other wrong. But like for me, that was really encouraging. I'm like, because Beck and I are uniquely different than another couple.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, oh, everybody's got to be the same, or is something wrong with my marriage?
Yeah.
And then you hear couples like theirs, and you're like, no, we're on the
We're
right
human.
track.
We're all different. Yeah.
So you're gonna love this conversation. Enjoy. So Gary and Lisa, how, just to kind of get the download on your marriage, how long have the two of you been married? Do you come from two healthy marriages? What does that look like?
Sure. We've been married 41 years.
Oh,
My father died just before my parents' 55th anniversary. And Gary's parents were 67 years, maybe 68. His dad just died this year at 95. So not really, not even aunts and uncles, grandparents, not really a history of divorce for sure.
whoa.
Healthy marriages, you know,
I was just going to ask that part.
they stay together. They were happy together. I definitely think for their time, they were definitely happy marriages.
Well, I think my dad was a saint in his retirement.
Yes.
We found out it's hard for my mom to bend over. For the last 20 years of his life, he clipped her toenails.
Well, it's
Oh my
arthritis.
gosh.
In hands. Yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
he has arthritis in her hands, and so
Yeah.
he would do that. And he just so took care of her up until, I mean, he was bedridden, and so
I was up until the last 6 months of his life. Like he's the one who would lay out all their vitamins every week and
make her
that kind of thing.
coffee.
And then she would act like she just couldn't do it, you know. And Gary's sister's going, "Mom, you can do this. I'm gonna help you figure it out."
I want to say make her coffee because
Keurig.
it's cured with this much whipped cream and
The
creamer
creamer,
and
the sweet creamer stuff.
okay, so I think that's just helpful to even know where a person comes. And I feel like that story that you just shared, even if they're not super healthy, the fact that you come from such solid marriages, the same for Beck and I. Like all we've ever known and all our children have ever known is solid marriages. And for us, both of our sets of parents have like flourishing marriages. Like they just absolutely love each other. And you don't even realize how much that impacts a person until you maybe get just further down the road. Okay, so the focus of our conversation in this marriage series, which has been awesome, the focus this week is built to last, having a long haul love and showing up through the years. And just to get to the real stuff, has there been a particular season that has been harder in your marriage that you'd be willing to share about? You could even share, has there been a particular season that's been flourishing as well, particularly like life-giving? So a harder season, life-giving season, if you're willing to share that.
Sure. I would say probably one of our hardest seasons. Our first daughter, you know, I was only 22, didn't really know what I was doing. And she had a lot of the colic, but it kind of just kept, it colic to tantrums went kind of a continuous streak. So, and now I know so much more, but
but
it was
just to be fair, she would cry 4 hours a night. That's not an exaggeration.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And then when she was 2, I had gone back to school because I had gotten married when I still had a year of college left. And I just think all of those early years we didn't have money. we'd run out of food money because we did the little envelope thing back in the day. And we would literally go stay with his parents for the weekend so we could eat until we got paid again. And
Oh my gosh.
I don't eat the same way that I do. So that was a big sacrifice. Yeah. So I would say those years, I think Gary was neglected. I was exhausted. Just all of it. I mean, like looking on it, we can look back with compassion on somebody help that poor couple out, give them a date, give them some money for the date, like anything. And we just didn't have, like, as great as our parents were, they weren't the type to step in to look at what the needs were, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Gary, would you say the same season was maybe the hardest?
Yeah.
Whoa. Well, really quick on that before we go on. Advice that you would say to a couple in that place right now?
Well, for starters, it's not forever. I think the other thing is just, how do I say that? Because you don't want to add like another thing to do. And yet I feel like Gary was neglected in that I had a needy baby. And so part of it, of course, he had to realize he wasn't going to have my full attention. But at the same time, there could have been more attention. And I think that would have gone a long way. I think maybe asking for help, we didn't really do that. And maybe if we lived a couple hours from our parents, so it wasn't like we were getting that. And we always felt guilty having somebody babysit her because we knew she would probably cry the whole time. So I think asking for help and just not neglecting each other in whatever little ways that might be could go a long way. What would you say, Gary?
Well, I think part of it too was I always wanted to be a good husband, Adam. I don't know why I was so motivated, but I was reading marriage books before I got married and listening to Focus on the Family. So I was trying really hard, but we were really poor. And so I would have two. At one point I had 3 jobs.
Oh.
But we still didn't have money because they were jobs that an English major gets, right, in a college town. Working at a grocery store, reading electric meters and ministry, how that goes. And so I felt like I was just this colossal disappointment to Lisa because she says, you're gone all the time. And I was gone a lot of evenings, but I was trying to earn money. I wasn't bowling or golfing or playing cards with the guys or watching the games. I was working the whole time. And then both of our dads are Mr. Fix-Its. I'm Mr. Break-It. And so Lisa's like, we got to pay to get that fixed. And I'm like, well, I could fix it and break it more. I did sometimes. One time look, this is how poor we were. I was going to save money on an oil change. And I couldn't get the plug off the drain pan. And I found out because I was tightening it. Because, you're upside down. You're on the car. So I stripped it and it's leaking. So Lisa has to take it in and pretty much comes home and says, Gary, we can't afford for you to work on the car anymore. So I would try, but when it comes to mechanical stuff, my first guess is always wrong. And so I felt like I really wanted to excel as a husband and a dad. And I felt like I was failing on every front. I just felt overwhelmed with this, kind of negativity and condemnation that you're not measuring up. And that was, so I would say go through it with emotional attachment together, appreciate why you got married. I don't know if Lisa knew about my mechanical inability before because it's right out of college. So maybe there was nothing to see there. She just assumed. And then our expectations were crazy. So the first day after our honeymoon, I go in and work because it's like I have to work the next day.
Okay, wait, let me put this in context. We'd only dated through college. We literally went from the dorms to being married because we were in a campus ministry that valued being on campus for ministry. So we moved from dorms. We ate 2 to 3 meals together a day, go on a honeymoon, come back, and he leaves me for the day and I don't have a job yet.
But I'm leaving her to work. All right. So it was a nice day, but it's literally my first day at this new job. Lisa calls me at 1:30. It's such a beautiful day. Why don't you come home so we can go for a walk?
No, I want to go swimming at a lake.
Or go swimming in a lake. And I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, this is my first day on the job. I can't just ask for an afternoon. And then she got really upset.
This is
was
awesome.
self-employed. My dad was self-employed. And so we would do things like that. Like after school, we would go somewhere. Yeah.
So,
and I hadn't really had a real job. I'd work for him. And so everything was pretty loosey. I didn't know. But now he's self-employed. So it's great.
Oh,
Well, partly self-employed.
so good. Okay, so share, has there been a particularly life-giving season in your marriage?
well, I think there's been many.
Yeah.
That's the thing. In 41 years, I mean, there were several tough seasons.
Yeah.
And I think there's several great seasons. I think actually we never we loved active parenting and we loved it. We wish we had 3 kids.
Yeah.
Looking back, I wish there were good reasons why we didn't have a 4th. It may be one of the greatest regrets of my life, although it could have been really bad too. So I don't know. But being empty nesters was a sweet season because Lisa is a giver and a carer. And when all the kids were gone, all of a sudden, I'm getting a focus I didn't have before I knew it, because we went to Houston and I still was kind of learning to run in the sun, which you shouldn't do in Houston. So it's like 90 degrees out and probably 85% humidity. I go off in the afternoon and found out what happens when you do that, because my mileage would be cut in half. I didn't know it. So I go out and I am dying, and I'm partly walking back, which I'd never done, walking back a run in the Pacific Northwest. And there's Lisa on her bike with a towel and a bottle of water. She goes, boy, you didn't come back. I figured you just got overheated. And if that would have happened 10 years prior with homeschooling the kids and taking care of the dog, I would have walked back an hour later. She goes, oh, you went out for a run? I mean, I realized it was, I would say, I say this to couples a lot, resent the situation, not your spouse.
Oof.
Sometimes situations are just really hard and no spouse can, lift it up that way. And I think Lisa would say that I find ways to spoil her now that I'm just focusing on her and not taking the kids out for time with dad and whatnot. I just filled your car with the gas tank this morning, so it'll be full when you get back from the airport.
I thought my car had a magic gas tank and it just didn't get empty, but it turns out it's Gary just fills it all the time.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's even really cool for me to hear, honestly. And I feel like Beck and I are just a really sweet season, but to even think about like, oh, it'd be so much easier to be thoughtful with one another when we don't have 4 terrorists living in our house. Like that'll change things, like it's just really crazy. That's something really cool that I didn't even, that's something so small and obvious, but really, really cool even to look forward to. Okay.
Yeah.
So built to last.
I didn't want to take away from Lisa though. Did you have a different season you were going to mention?
Oh, I would have probably said empty nest season.
Really?
I think, well, partly too, I travel with Gary, which before,
is nice.
I would go once or twice a year, and that would be like, Palm Beach, or Palm Desert or something in February, Palm Springs in February, I'd go. But most of his trips I wasn't going. And so it gives me empathy with his travel schedule and his, we had a therapist once tell Gary, well, you get a lot of me time on airplanes, and Lisa doesn't get that. And so it's always just been kind of our joke, because travel's hard. Even riding in an airplane, you come home tired.
You do.
And I'm surprised time. It gives me empathy and just new appreciation, because he does such a great job with what he does. And it's just fun being together. The plan when I started traveling with him was I would be the social director, and we would stay an extra day and do something fun in that area. That only works out about 20% of the time, but he does get out of the hotel room when I'm with him, and I think that's healthy. So yeah, I think it's been a good season. Maybe not this summer. We've been apart a lot with the wedding and whatnot, but yeah.
Very, very cool. I love even hearing the traveling together too. John Acuff, him and his wife just became empty nesters, and his wife has been going with on a lot of his travels, and it's been really cool to see the two of them. He's like, we're learning like things that we love, and also like, oh, okay, like you have your own preferences too, and I kind of had these rhythms, and it's just been fun to kind of see that season too.
Well, along those lines, we never traveled together for fun before we were empty nesters because, we got married really young, had kids really young, and it just didn't happen. And so we started going on trips and we're like, holy cow, we don't vacation well together. And it was like we had our worst fights. So every vacation still, it's like me checking things off the list. Okay, never mind. We won't do that. We won't do that. And Gary being like, that looks too busy. And I'm like, well, if we just want to sit on the deck and read, we've got a beautiful deck. We've got nice chairs out there. We should just stay home. So vacationing together is a struggle, but we're doing good. We enjoy being in like a country where we have to figure things out ourselves because you can't speak the language or whatever. It's fun.
We are on two different ends of the spectrum where I like to do 0 to 1 things a day. Lisa likes to do 9 or 10. So we usually compromise at 8 or 9.
That's perfect.
And earlier this year, I spoke at a church out in Tampa, and Lisa was like, let's go out 5 days early, which was a great idea because it's going to be warm, although the weather wasn't that great when we were there. But we were there, and it's the night before I start speaking at the church, which, you know how this goes out. You got a lot of energy when you're the guy on stage. Yeah. And so it was the last night, and we'd done a bunch of stuff, and it was getting dark. We walked back, and there were these 2 hammocks right outside this restaurant where they were playing some music. It wasn't particularly good music. It was 4 white guys that were covering. They did fine with Led Zeppelin, but then they tried to cover Michael Jackson's Billie Jean. And they couldn't play it or sing it. I think that's supposed to be. Anyway, so that wasn't the best, but it's a very pleasant night. And we're in the hammocks, and I looked at my watch. It was 8 minutes. And Lisa, we got to get out of here. Honey, it's literally been 8 minutes. She goes, well, it feels like 20 years in prison. I'm out of here. So that's never going to change.
I don't sit a lot.
No, not on vacation, certainly.
No, that again, like, refreshing to hear. Beck and I cannot be more polar opposites. And I feel like we've started to learn how I get up early and I kind of go while she's taking her time, getting ready, spending time with Jesus and whatever. And it's been fun kind of learning how to tango together, but we still have nothing figured out. So, okay. So rhythms or even mindsets that you would say that you've had to have the marriage that you have today. Like how to build a marriage that lasts. Is there certain rhythms that you think of or things that you've done over the years that have been helpful? What does that look like? Could be something big, could be something small.
Sure. I would say that, we probably had more goals than we achieved as far as that goes because our schedule has never been, flat or the same.
Yeah.
Day to day, week to week. And so establishing the kinds of things that we recommend to other couples, like the weekly check-ins or date nights or whatever, honestly, was not something we were great at. And I think a lot of it was due to our schedule. I think we're better at more spontaneous, like driving, start praying for something, on a walk, start praying for something. That kind of thing. And maybe that's personality. I'm not a super scheduled person. Maybe it's just been our schedules. I don't know. But I think we're pretty good at that. We're pretty good at, I guess, like the whole adult children thing has been harder than I had a vision and it's not this. And it's nice because we're on the same page. So we talk about that a lot. That's getting off the rhythm question. Go ahead, Gary.
No, I think you're still there. I think it surprises some people. They think Lisa and I spend an hour every day in prayer and Bible study together. And that is, in fact, we probably read the Bible more together when we were dating and engaged, because I have this thing in the front of my Bible where we wanted to read through the entire New Testament together, and I would put the date down when we went through that. But I think the rhythm that has helped is that, look, I'm earnestly pursuing God first thing in the morning. Lisa's earnestly spending time with the Lord. And I think the fruit of that apart really feeds our life together individually.
So good.
I would say the best thing for my marriage is loving God first and passion. I cannot even think about raising my voice or getting too busy without God knocking on the door of my heart saying, hey, this is my daughter. Or correspondingly serving her and God saying, thank you. Thanks for taking care of her. So I would say that's the biggest one throughout our marriage. And then I think just respecting each other's different gifts. I know Lisa says her job is to get us out of the hotel. She's allergic to hotels when we speak. And when I was there, I had a couple of decades of, I would just kind of recover, particularly if it's in the fall and I could just watch college football or something. I mean, that was ideal on a Saturday
Or go for a
afternoon.
hike with the beautiful leaves.
And so I'm coming back and Lisa's like, but you know what? 80% of the time, I'm really glad I got out of the hotel. So I recognize more often than not, it's good. When I travel on my own, if I'm hungry, I could eat at 10 restaurants around me. With Lisa, I hate Yelp. I wish Yelp had never been invented.
Gosh.
Because you have to give Lisa an hour warning to go through Yelp. Well, that's only got 3.5 stars. I don't know. And she eats healthier, so 90% of the restaurants aren't a choice. But here's what I'm trying to say. Respect that, though. But I know I eat healthier with her because of that. I'm not always eating the comfort food I might like. But she's got it down to where after I've done a Friday, Saturday night thing, and then I preach on Sunday, Sunday lunch is on me. It's comfort food. I'm doing barbecue. I'm doing pizza. She gets it. That's my time to just, I've been eating her twigs and leaves for days. Bamboo soup, and I get to do the comfort food on Sunday afternoon.
I've a couple of things that you shared there, Gary. Specifically, I feel like that time with Jesus, I know it's what a pastor should say, whatever. That is what makes me a great husband. That every single day, Holy Spirit conviction, Holy Spirit like encouragement, and I honestly don't know what I would do without it. Is there anything else that you would add as far as like just rhythms that are there? And I even love, I also want to say one of the other couples in this series talked about the importance of that weekly check-in and that being so critical for them. I love that it's the total opposite for the both of you. Okay.
Well, to be fair, we check in every day. We're empty nesters. I mean, I feel like we have substantive talks every day, don't you, Lise? I mean,
Yeah.
We don't really need. When you have a young kid, I'm not talking down check-ins because my book, Making Your Marriage a Fortress, that's what the busy couple said. But I think when you're an empty nester, if you like each other, you're going to have check-ins all the time, which we do.
And I do think it is personality because like I'll hear couples who are like, well, every night we ask these 2 questions. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. And then I'm like, yeah, that wouldn't work for us. One of us would be asleep. I mean, one of us would be bored with like, yeah, I answered that yesterday. Like, I don't know. There's just, different things work for different people. But I like hearing what he's writing about or what he studied. I like telling him what I learned in Bible study or whatever. So we just come at it a little bit differently. And
That's
It
awesome.
probably doesn't look as
I've
good on
heard-
paper, but it works.
Yeah. We heard couples that raved about hot tub time, particularly when they had kids, because they said you get the kids in bed, you're at the house, you get away, it's warm water, you're there in the tub, so you're talking. So we'd never had a hot tub in 38 years of marriage. Partly, who wants a hot tub in Houston, Texas? You just go outside and turn on the sprinkler. But so we got one in Colorado, and it's great. This is where I put my foot down because I don't know if we should say it. Lisa chose 99% of the things in our house because she's better at that than I did. I mean, it really, and she did such a beautiful job because we gutted it and redid it. But I said, I'm holding out for the hot tub. And she had us try them out. And there's supposedly a healthier hot tub. And I know some people are saying, how can a hot tub be healthier? You haven't met my wife. And there's this one, it was like California tub. So it wasn't, but it was far and away a better tub. And so we got that. But I don't think we use it a tenth as much as I thought we would. Maybe more in the winter, in the summer.
Maybe when we get a sauna.
Yeah, Lisa wants to get a sauna now, which we probably would use more. So you could try out those things, but I'm just saying it for couples that might have younger kids or whatnot. People have raved about, and it is a good time when we're out there. I mean, you are just talking there and sitting. So,
that's great. That's great. Next question: how do you keep again over the years? How do you keep fun and friendship in your marriage? And the person who wanted me to ask you this said, away from a date night. They're like, date night is kind of the answer. Away from that, how do you keep fun and friendship? Because I immediately, when you were in Sioux Falls, like I felt that, just friendship wise specifically. Like what do you think? What has that been? What's been helpful for you? Any suggestions?
For us, I think it's walks.
or
Like a
bikes.
short walk after dinner or something. Then you're just debriefing your day and whatnot. We like bike riding together. We do some hiking together. We don't have a ton of common interests, and so we have to kind of capitalize on the things that we do
Or
like.
books. Sometimes we pass each other off.
Yes,
Maybe
we pass each other books and
a
talk
third of
about
the books that
things.
we read, we say, hey, I think you'll like this. We tend to kind of like to watch some of the same series, which we couldn't have done when the kids were young, and we do that.
Yeah.
If I could add one, but she's right. Recreationally, I like to run. Lisa's never run. She bounces on the,
Excuse me, I got most improved in my junior year of track, so I did run.
because she improved your mile time by 2 minutes.
3. I went from like
3
9 and a
minutes.
half minute
How
miles
do
to
you,
16.
how do you improve your
Comeback player of the year.
PR in a mile by 3 minutes? Anyway.
Sure. And honestly, as empty nesters who spend a lot of time together, a big piece is trying to find couple friends
Yeah.
and trying to make that a priority.
Yeah.
Because you have a different kind of fun with other people. And yeah, so I feel like we're doing a better job of that now.
I love being a grandparent with her. We spend time with the grandkids. I think we're a great 1-2.
Yeah.
There's things that Lisa does better, things that I do better. And so I love doing that with her. It's been one of the most meaningful things I've done with Lisa. I probably felt like that when we were parents, but you get breaks as being grandparents, and we're doing it. And then, Adam, I'd also say, Lisa and I were talking about this a month or so ago because I'm going to be taping a show on this coming up. There have been no sexual deserts in our 41 years of marriage.
Whoa.
Now, I'm not counting pregnancies. Lisa's had 2 major operations. We had one where our daughter was fighting for her life. And for 5 or 6 weeks, you're just at the hospital. I mean, it's just, you can't even think about it. But as far as just not desiring each other or things, and I do think that feeds your marriage.
Yes.
And I was laughing because when we were in Tampa, before we had the hammock episode, is it okay? I'm getting really personal here, Lisa. Can I share that thing with Tampa?
It
I
all
love
fits
that
under the category of fun. He asked what we do
so
for
I
fun.
love that I was just giving you permission instead of Lisa. It's like,
Yeah.
is that okay? Yes, totally. And Lisa's like, wait a second.
So,
It fits under fun, I guess.
so we're in Tampa, and we had 4 nights in Tampa before I spoke at the the church. And I think we were intimate physically 3 out of the 4 nights, which some people say that's no big deal. We've been married 41 years at the time, and we're older, and that's unusual for us. But Adam, I noticed it. Look, I adore Lisa. I cherish Lisa anyway. But it does what I've said in my seminars about sex. What it does. I think especially for the guy, it really clues you into your wife. It ties you into your wife. And so I think that is an area of marriage to address, and
So good.
when the kids are younger, it's harder. Lisa had this fun thing because when we would go shopping, if it had been 5 or 6 days since we're intimate, and she goes, okay, what do you think about this? Oh, you look so good on that. What do you think about that? Oh man, you look incredible. She goes, I knew we should have had sex last night. You're no help if we shop when it's had 6 days because everything looks good. It's kind of an energy of marriage that still feeds our marriage. I imagine it's got to come to an end at some time. But I do think that creates a sense of friendliness in the sense of it's something that Lisa and I only share with each other.
Yeah.
And we look forward to it. And I think it does create that sense of, I'm just so grateful more than I can say that it's never been a power thing between us. I think if either one of us knows the other one is just really there, we just say, okay, we're married, we'll get there. And eventually we do.
That's so good. I got 2 questions left. For the person who's not having fun or not having sex in their marriage, I think it's similar. What would you recommendations or wisdom?
First, don't wait too long. The martyr spirit is a death spirit. I'm just going to, okay, fine then. I'm not going to deal with it. I'm not going to share my heart. I'm not going to pursue. I'm not going to figure out what I'm contributing to it until the other spouse says, I'm done. I can't fix it. And I think couples tend to wait too long.
Yep.
I think you've got to look at, if you don't desire to be with each other physically. Now, look, if somebody's grieving the loss of a family member, if there are physical issues out, if it's just a really busy season raising kids, okay, those are outside things. But if it, and I'm assuming mutually pleasurable, you've heard me talk on this.
Yes.
It's not the wife servicing the husband because nobody can do that for 40 years. If it's mutually pleasurable where both are enjoying it, then I think, I think you're really putting your marriage in danger. And now I've done the math. I don't think any marriage is going to have sex more than 1% of the time. So having fun has got to be a lot more than that.
Ugh,
you should
good.
be laughing together. You should be playing together. For us, our walks or bike rides or whatnot.
Vacations.
Yeah, vacations. Because I just think there are a lot of obligations and responsibilities of marriage. There are things you have to do that you may not want to do.
Yep.
I had to give my opinion on 10 different white paint colors that looked identical to me, but try to guess which one Lisa really wanted me to pick. But with those responsibilities, you got to have fun and laugh. And that's the thing is, I think Lisa and I laugh a lot. She likes my sense of humor, which I'm grateful for.
So good. Lisa, the same question to you. To the couple that's not having sex, they're not having fun, but what would be your challenge or encouragement or?
Sure. I think let's talk sex first. If you need to be open to having a conversation about why you're not enjoying it. Is it because you talk to me harshly all day? Is it your breath stinks? I mean, you know what I'm saying? There could be the gamut reasons why I'm not enjoying it. It doesn't feel good and you don't do things, like it could improve, but saying it in a positive way. I think having those conversations. Another thing I've become really passionate about, I've always been passionate about it, but now in a new way as we get older and see other couples getting older, is prioritizing health, teaching your kids to be healthy, because it's going to impact what you can do with your family, what energy you have. And then as you get older, people stop having sex at 60 because they're too big or too sick, or I just, you lose out on a lot of life. And I know health isn't 100%, what you do. There are accidents and genetics and other things, but I think we can impact it a whole lot more than we like to think we do. And so it's even become a little thing I'm adding on when we do premarital counseling. And I'd like to do that even a little bit more. Just like you just see the couples where one of them gives up after they get married, and it really does sap your energy. So I think prioritizing health is a big thing.
Lisa, anything? I was going to say,
Yes.
is there anything more you want to share about that? Because I was just talking about that with another pastor, and I think that is a huge thing in marriages. Is there anything more that you want to share on the health side? Because I just
wind it up. Here we go.
Gosh, I just think it is a huge thing.
Sure. And that's why I want to talk to people when they're starting out their family life, because, if you're starting out with a Dorito and soda lunches, it's just going to go downhill from there. I like to talk about adding in the positives. To me, when you look at the side effects of the highly processed foods, the excess sugar, the bad oils, it literally reads death. Like you can just read lists and lists of side effects. When you look at the food God created, in Genesis 1, he gives us plants, and in Genesis, I think it's 6, he gives us animals. When you concentrate your diet on that, everything about it, you can just read about broccoli or raw cacao, which is the base of chocolate, and the health benefits go on and on and on. And so it really is death or life in your food. So to me, that's a huge thing. And then just finding exercise that feeds you, whether it's, something in a group, volleyball, group runs, or if it's something on your own, just finding that thing. And, we get older, our muscles are going down, and just, I'm so happy I can still get off the floor without my hands. And that's a priority. That's like one of those longevity indicators. I don't know. So you just got to figure that out. Because it's not just about you. It's your energy, it's your attention, it's just how you feel day in and day out, both about yourself and just in your body. And it's money. You're spending money on medical bills, and people are like, well, the healthy food costs more. Well, it doesn't have to. And you're going to end up paying it at the doctor's office is my thought. So
everything.
That's what I think of that.
Oh, that's so good. Thanks for sharing that. I loved Gary's like, oh boy, watch out. You don't know what you're walking into, Adam. But like, I feel like that whole topic is so taboo to talk about. And yet we pay the price for it because we're not willing to talk about it. So thanks for sharing that.
Let me just add one more thing. And that is that we've also, probably since the 50s, you deserve a break today or whatever, like cooking isn't valued. And I think if we see it as God gave us this food, he did not have to make us needing food, right? We could have gone outside and got our energy from photosynthesis, or like cows, you only need one food. He gives us color, creativity, texture, smell, all these things. And so when we are cooking a healthy meal for our family, we're partnering in that creativity. And I just love that image that it's not just wasted time. I mean, Gary's more like boom, boom, boom. Imagine if we didn't have to eat. Then you don't have to shop. You don't have to cook. You don't have to do dishes. You wouldn't need to use the bathroom. I mean, there's all this stuff to save on, right? And so there has to be a reason behind it. It does take a lot of time. And so, find a spiritual blessing in that, I think.
That's good.
Just though, Adam, it goes far beyond food for Lisa. It's like I said, we have to have the healthy hot tub, water filters.
Mattress.
It's the toothpaste. It's the shampoo. Nothing is normal in our house. The dishwashing machine detergent, the clothes washer, the paint had to be a certain kind.
It's great paint. It's great paint.
Plastic in the dishwasher.
The floors were some kind of special quality.
So good. Okay, last call.
Oh, the mattress. We sleep on a healthy mattress.
Oh, it's organic wool, organic cotton, and natural latex. One more thing about fun, I guess, is if you feel like you have nothing in common, maybe once a month he invites her into whatever his world is, and once a month she invites him in, and maybe they'll find they like it. Maybe watching NASCAR is more fun than she thought, or taking a walk isn't so bad. And if it's just once a month, if they're planning it, and maybe they can't even think of something they both like. They just plan something they like and they just participate in it. Start finding something.
So would you go to McDonald's with me once a month?
I mean, that's not fun. And you know what happens? You want to go there, and that happens every single time.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, that was horrible. I feel terrible, and I'm never going there again.
It's true. If you get off fast food and then you eat it, you feel sick. I don't do well with McDonald's anymore. If you're eating it a couple times a week, your body gets used to it. But if it's been a while and you're on a trip and you're just trying to not be hungry, it never goes down well.
Gary, every night I'm gonna pray for you, because I'm envisioning your guys' bed it's actual literal branches that you lay on. Like she cuts down twigs off of a tree and you lay on branches. Your back must hurt so much. Okay, so last question. Success at the end of your lives together, what will a successful marriage be? Like what is success for marriage and for the both of you?
I think if our family said they adored each other and served each other well, that would make me happy. If we've helped other couples along the way, that would be a marker of success. If all our children and grandchildren were serving the Lord, that would really be the very height of success. And yet that's not up to us totally. And so we can't really use that as the marker of whether or not we were faithful. I think if we're just still loving each other all the way through and people see that. What do you think, Gary?
Well, Adam's heard me say this in a seminar before. I just want to, what I say every night, God, if I please you by the way I've loved your daughter, at the end of my life, I want God to say, well done, good and faithful servant. I'm so glad my daughter got to be married to you. And I have bad moments I'm trying to put behind me so that I could focus on the good and whatnot. But that really for me will be God determining it. Paul says, I don't trust my conscience and I don't let others judge me. Ultimately, it's how does God view it? But I also think the second one, Lisa and I have had, I think at least 3 couples, it might have been more, that have come up to us and they show us this little baby. And we've heard, and I don't know where they got this together. They go, this is our sacred marriage baby.
Whoa.
I'm like, what? Well, we were done. Our marriage was over. They tell us the stories are a little bit different, but they read Sacred Marriage. God reunited their relationship. They said this child would not have been born if we had not read Sacred Marriage. And, I know that our marriage has come to mean a lot to others. We had somebody from our hometown, a woman at her wedding, say, it was you two and my parents that gave me courage to get married, because I look around and most of the marriages aren't anything I'd want to be a part of. But I thought if my parents can do it, if you two can do it, we might be able to beat the odds. So I think there's that sense of, am I pleasing God, and are we building up others for marriage, knowing that there'll be difficult times. But I tell you, I wouldn't have it any other way than being with Lisa for 41 years and raising our children together, having the grandchildren together. I'm not knocking blended families. I don't want those in blended families to feel, but I think even they know it's just different. When you've gone through everything of life, it's different when you're with kids that you both raised together and these are your grandkids. I wouldn't have it any other way. And I thank God for his grace and his strength that allowed us to get through it, that Lisa was willing to forgive and be gracious and put up with me, and that that we're here 4 decades later.
Thank you guys so much for listening. I truly hope you were able to find something out of Adam's conversation with Gary and Lisa, and just either it encouraged you or it challenged you, something that you can use in your own marriage. And thank you so much for listening.
Thanks so much for listening. Thanks to our partners. Our partners today are Mission Haiti and Vern Eide Motorcars. Love you guys both so much. Share this episode with a friend, with a
Your
group,
spouse.
with your spouse, with a girlfriend of yours. If for gals, like share this episode to anybody that it might be helpful for. But have an awesome rest of your day.
Thank you guys.